Yo, guys. It is Old Man G here, back again. We are back. I'm joined by Eddie. Eddie, bro, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. It's good to be, back on your channel again.
Thanking
And
you.
yeah, man, itching to get into talking about these guys. Man United ahead of schedule with the rebuild. So
Yes.
yeah, man, thanks for having me on.
Yes, no problem. And remember, if you're new to the channel, guys, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter and X. Smash the notification button for latest news and more. Before we get into actually, Eddie, plug your channel. You used to do this at the end, but no, I want you to plug your channel. Where can they find you, Eddie?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yes, I've been doing some content recently, doing some reaction videos. You can find me at Eddie's Football Waffle on YouTube. So yeah. Thanks for the plug already, bro.
No worries, bro. And we'll obviously do it towards the end as well. Mo in the chat, big up RDS. Yes, yeah, I know it's been a bit key, but yeah, thank you for tuning in. So obviously this is a season. I wasn't actually planning on doing one, but I got some inspiration and I thought, you know what, we're a bit of time, we're a bit of a lull. It's probably the best time to have like a reflection on like what and where Manchester United are as a football club so far, with the transfer window coming in, etc., etc. It's a good idea to just like have a look and make an assessment because you're seeing what what so many other clubs are doing, and it's like, okay, what actually is the expectation of Manchester United this season? Where should Manchester United be? What should they do? Etc., etc., etc. So I think just before we get into, because obviously for those who obviously there's a tier list just there. Before we get into it, what have you, Eddie? What have you found? What's been your impression of the season so far?
I mean, there's so much to talk about because we're into the 20th game now in the league. Man United in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, into the 5th round of the FA Cup. A lot's going on, and before the season started, we knew after that last season, that traumatic season, we knew that the plan was really to get Man United just playing football again. And Ten Hag, man, I mean, I was hoping he would be a wizard this season, and so far he's worked magic. I mean, how is it we were talking about like a possible title race, in this season when we were beating Man City in the derby, we're ahead of schedule because I thought we'd be scraping 6th place again. I thought it'd be a lot of there'll be a lot of work to get these guys mentally disciplined. But we've seen that the guys are disciplined. We've seen that the defense has been improved a lot. That's the best part of Man United right now. Because if you look at our goal difference, you see it like the top two, they're going like in the 20s. I think we're on like +9 or something. So you can see obviously there's work to do on the attack, but our defense is sublime right now. So yeah, just to round off, we are, in my opinion, we're way ahead of schedule. I think we are because, like I said, talk to the title race, and then we're well into the top 4 now. I know Spurs are kind of close, but they don't look good. We look, even though we've drawn and lost the last 2 games, we still look better than Spurs. Yeah, so it looks certain that we'll get top 4. So it's like, I mean, we've seen the fan base on different streams and all that. We're all upbeat. We're all confident. So yeah, that's just my summary so far, man. We are ahead of schedule.
Thank you for that, Eddie. Mo says, can we have a moment of silence for Liverpool Football Club 2017? Rest in peace. All I'll say, Mo, is this. Is that there's no way that Manchester City and Liverpool, two of the biggest clubs in England, are having a trophyless season. When I was told that that football had changed, that like it was now the era of City and Liverpool and all that for finish. There's no way that Manchester City and Liverpool Football Club are finishing this season without a trophy. And United, under Ten Hag in his first season, wins a trophy. That can't happen, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with that, Eddie, or not. But for
that's
me,
what people were saying. People were writing us off for this season, and I'm not surprised after last season because you just look at like how Liverpool were going for the quadruple. Now they've gone to a quad strain right now. You know what I mean? They're just, you know what I mean? They're just messing about. They're falling off. Man City looking a little bit stale. Can you imagine? I just gotta ask this. Can you imagine, like, if Haaland is getting like what, maybe 60 goals, and Man City win nothing? That would be amazing. That would be amazing. So I think for me, it's their system changes that have really messed them up. They've tried to, I don't know, overthink it. You know, Klopp's gone for the main striker instead of the false 9. We've seen Nunez, how many big chances he's missed. We've seen that, even though Haaland was scoring for City, the way the team looks, the way they pass side to side, they look stale, and they just look like one-dimensional when they go up front. So yeah, I never saw this coming. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Big up now in the chat. Shout out to Nama. Now, big up where you've been hiding. I've just been a little bit busy, but the content is coming. We will be doing a deadline day stream. You might have seen that accidentally go live. That was wrong. So sorry about that. So, but yeah, I don't think there's going to be much to talk about. It'll probably only be maximum 15 minutes, being like, we got Wout Weghorst, and that wasn't enough, basically. So, I mean, when we talk about a few things later, I think one of the upsetting things actually about is that United are doing so well that you look at what Arteta is doing, etc., and it's like, right, Arteta's doing well, convincing to win the league, and you see the Arsenal board backing the manager. Like you're seeing a 60 million bid for Caicedo. Even before, all the other players they were able to sign and get in, Trossard, etc. And you're thinking these guys are clearly wanting to go for the title. United, it's like, Wout Weghorst on a loan deal. And I have nothing against Wout Weghorst. I think he's fine. So, but like at the very least, there are even decent. Even I think Weston McKennie going to Leeds. I was thinking like, as an option for only like 1.5 million, that's not a bad option, especially now that, and we'll talk about it later, Eriksen watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just got to say, like, real quick, I mean, the Glazers, they have spent quite a bit on Ten Hag in the summer. People are saying, okay, Man United have rinsed through the budget. That's why, we're not able to get like a proper striker in January. But I just got to say, like, remember when they were saying budget problems and then Anthony came all of a sudden for like 100 mil. It's like, there's got to be money there, but I just look at like what the Glazers do. They don't tend to spend in January, do they? They don't really do it. So they've gone back into their habit of just spending in the summer and then just kind of messing about in January, really. So Vegas, we've not seen enough of him. Maybe he can still come good. I'm not so sure of him, really, but we have to see.
I mean, a big part of me is saying that is this just because of we'll talk about a bit later about the fact that there's the potential. Not potential. We know the club is going to be sold in the summer. I think that it's weird because for all the Glazers out, for all the stuff that we're doing, it's almost like I don't know whether it's because it hasn't hit people until it actually happens. But there's almost near confirmation that the Glazers are going to sell the club, and so maybe people are thinking, well, okay, you don't want to spend money because you're going to sell the club, but at the very least, in the summer, United are going to get new owners and hopefully going to get owners on the level of Todd Bowley and what he's doing in a madness where we're thinking like, right, no, you know what? From next season, we're going to get owners who are going to be able to spend big, invest, because you're not going to buy United and not spend money. Whatever people say, I've been bantering Chelsea, and I think the whole Chelsea situation is a mess, doesn't look as in direction. At the end of the day, he is spending the dough. He's spending the dough. He's getting the players, etc. So United need ownership that will do that.
Yeah. Can I ask you real quick though? Have the Glazers put like any kind of like deadline on a bid, or is it just like it's still kind of open water?
It sounds like I think that the impression I get is that like I think probably from like March that maybe end of February, March, that the bids need to become public. So have to be people that have to declare their public interest. And then obviously they'll then consider them, and then hopefully we can get some news like, towards it's not ideal because to be honest, I want the new owners in ASAP so we can plan for the summer. I don't think it's going to be hard to do that, with new owners in and how they want to fill the club, etc. I mean, even things like, Ten Hag, we assume he's going to stay, but as we saw with Todd B in Chelsea, Tuchel, brilliant manager. Yes, he had some issues, but Todd B was like, nah, I want my guy in.
Yeah.
And I think he's Potter. So,
but Tuchel was getting stale with like, what he was doing there. Like Ten Hag, like if the owners are proper owners, they'll see like this guy is working with like, I wouldn't say scraps, but he's managed to work with like just a few of his players coming in, and then like half the team still counter-attacking, and he's been able to adapt. Like if the owners are real football owners, they won't do it. They won't do a Todd B. They'll surely keep him. So just coming back to like the deadline thing you're talking about. Yeah, I would kind of understand if the Glazers don't want to buy any more players because they're getting ready to go like now. But like if they were just like not getting in any bids and still like going towards the summer where they're still being in charge, you could see like maybe they should be getting some players in January to make sure we get top four, so that obviously the club's value goes up, and then the Glazers can sell for more. So it depends, isn't it, when they get the bid.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Let me just quickly read some comments. Make sure you smash like videos, guys. Just a testament to the GOAT manager, Sir Alex, rebuilding a team, staying on top isn't exactly 100% exactly. Hakim says, for anybody watching, not worth the effort. You mean not worth the effort to watch, or not worth the effort to show? I'm not sure what you mean by the con, but if you don't want to watch, that's fine. No one's holding you.
That might be worthy of a thin bin there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a bit low key, man. So, no one's forcing you. So shout out to Samasi in chat as always. Samasi, before the summer was it before the summer transfer window? What do you mean, Samasi?
It's talking about the sale of.
Sorry, the sale. Okay, yeah. Will it happen before the summer transfer window? Yeah. It has to be announced. It has to be announced before the summer transfer window. It has to be. It has to be. I can't see. It has to be. By the way, I'm in pain. What's happened? What's Bayern done? Samasi's always in pain. What happens to Bayern?
Have you seen the table recently? I was looking at it yesterday. And
the Bundesliga table. Well, they've not played.
But Bayern are allowing the supposed farmers in that league to compete, man. Like, if you look at their top four, there's like a few points that separate all of them.
Oh yeah, Dortmund is
Yeah.
literally. There's literally Bayern have 37, Union Berlin 36, Leipzig 35, Dortmund 34, and Freiburg. Jeez, man.
Yeah, Samasi's worried. That's why she's in pain.
Unstructured. The thing is, what's actually been nice. What's actually been nice actually has been that almost across all of Europe, there's title races everywhere. Like there's title race in the Premier League. Obviously Arsenal, City. Title race, as you said, in Bundesliga. Title race in La Liga between Barcelona and Madrid. Title race in Serie A with Napoli and so on. Even PSG are only 3 points ahead of Lens.
Yeah.
You know, so it's actually nice for once that we actually across Europe that like nothing has actually been decided already. You know, halfway through the season, you know, that there's actually a lot to look forward to. You know,
I would say that I would like, you know, the Italian one to be a bit closer, because like Napoli, what was it, 10 points ahead?
yeah.
And then also with England's one, like I don't Arsenal, like how is it we're the only team that's beat them? Like after they got 5th last season, it's like it should be a closer title.
And to be honest, let's keep it stacked. We could have if Cass. I mean, you always have to ask what happens if Casemiro had played against Arsenal. What happens if Casemiro had played against Arsenal if he hadn't got that yellow? I mean, we'll review and talk about Ten Hag in a bit. And in fact, let's actually move on to it. Let's move on to it. Let's move on to the tier list because we've been for a while, guys. So obviously, for those who are tuning into the right, it's a tier list about what you think of the players so far. World class, reliable, so that's your kind of steady Eddie, consistent, etc. Squad player, so in and out. Poor, and then sell. Those are kind of 5 categories, and we'll kind of go from kind of like start to finish, and we'll have a kind of debate about this. And obviously, let me know in the comments, guys, like what you guys think as well. So I mean, Eddie, first, what do you think? David De Gea first.
De Gea. You see, the thing is, like he's still been making those clutch saves. You know, you can't go wrong when De Gea's like got a dive to save a shot, but the distribution is still a bit, you know, it's still a bit off. Like, I remember in the Arsenal game recently as well, there was a distribution that was he just kept giving up possession. And he's done that in other games too. So he's a bit like 50-50. So anyway, so what am I going to go for? I mean, he's not been making too many mistakes though, apart from the distribution. So I gotta go reliable. Surely, I can't go squad player. But we're looking for a new keeper, aren't we? Like Ten Hag is going to look for a new keeper.
Yeah,
I'll go squad player actually. Squad player.
Yeah, as I said, so far David De Gea is reliable. For next season, I would sell. Yeah, I think that's fair. I do think we need to find a goalkeeper first, because you know David De Gea will always be obviously a reliable shot stopper, etc. So, but we need to.
Okay, I'm all over the place. I'll go reliable for this season, and then maybe next season it will be squad player. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Let's go here. Okay. Ooh, actually, no. Well, I'm going to talk about him, obviously. So we'll talk about Rashford, because Rashford needs a bit more time to get to. So we'll talk about him a little bit later. Okay. Malacia.
What do you think though? What's your view on him this season, man?
I would say this is just his first season. And obviously he's been alternating with Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw has obviously had a better season, but obviously it's the whole thing of like Luke Shaw seems to have a better. He's got competition. So I think that I would say that he's in the squad player. He's in the squad player section with the potential to be reliable.
Okay, I would agree with that as well. There's only been a few games where he's been like, what is it, poor. I remember there was a Europa League game where we conceded something on the counter-attack and he made a mistake. There's very few mistakes he's made. And he has shown up in big games like against, what is it, Man City, he looked sturdy. And maybe only against Arsenal, where Saka was ripping him a bit, he was looking a little bit unsure. But yeah, man, squad player, yeah. he's been all right this season.
I agree. Yeah. Shout out to Sportsman says big up Munzi here. Shout out to you, Munzi. Thank you, Sports Scout. Make sure you go and subscribe to this channel, guys. Mo is a reliable squad player. Yeah. A reliable squad player. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. Christian Eriksen. Obviously we got him on the free, which I think affects things to me. But he's been there. I would say he has had some bad games, and I think that but considering where we were with McFred and Bruno and all the rest of it, I would put him in reliable. I think I put him reliable, but I don't know what you think.
Yeah. So this is just for this first half of the season, isn't it? Because
this is your season review. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly.
Because I was gonna say, like, recently I've not been happy with Eriksen. He looks like when it's like gets to like 60th minute, 65th minute, he's burning out. There's certain passes he's making, which is like it's not Eriksen level. It's kind of like Bruno-ish. Like he kind of spamming some balls. You know, he's been bad recently, but if we're going to weigh up the whole first half of the season, gotta say reliable because he's played more better games than the bad ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And to be fair, like I think at the end of the day, like I think that he is tired. And we are. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting Yassir in. Actually, Yassir is joining us, man. I'll see you in the back, Yassir. I'm gonna bring you in, and you can help. Yo, Yassir, buddy. Thanks for joining us, man. How you doing? You okay?
What's good? It's been a while, people. It's been a while, but Eddie, how you been, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
It's been a while, bro. It's been a while, guys. Sorry I'm late. The time difference thing kind of throws me off at times, so I apologize.
No worries, boy. No worries. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it, man. So we literally just started just doing the tier ranking now. So, world class, reliable squad player, poor sell. So we're just talking about Eriksen. And I think personally, we think that he's in the reliable category, but I don't know what you think, Yassir.
Yeah, Eriksen's been good for us this year. He's been very reliable, but 1000%, that is the position that I want to improve. That, like, I'm telling you, people, because I see a lot of Eriksen praise, and it was just well deserved in the timeline, especially with United fans. But guys, I'm telling you, if we could get an improvement on Eriksen, especially definitely like a player like Enzo, that's probably going to Chelsea, and I'm kind of like worried about that. That would take us to a different level. So 100%, he's reliable. 100%.
You know what? If Enzo goes to Chelsea, they're going to be like overloaded in that midfield. I'm thinking, if Kovacic still got legs, man. Do you guys rate that player? The way he can carry the ball, he's good at a bit of a tackle. He can pass well. I'm saying Kovacic, man. I'll take him.
I like Kovacic, but the issue with Kovacic is like, and here's the thing: like sometimes, like when you don't support a club, you see the good things about certain players, but you don't see the negatives. The only negative I don't like about Kovacic is like when it comes down to the final third, his decision making is extremely poor. He has very, very poor decision making in the final third. Like brilliant player in the middle of the box and the middle of the pitch will beat players, like they're not there. But he will power through. But once he gets to the final third, it seems like his controller dies, like legit. So that's the only thing that is negative about Kovacic. But I'm like, but I get what you're saying, Eddie. Though I like him, I really do.
Yeah, I mean, if Ten Hag could get a hold of him and tell him to keep it simple, get it to the winger, let him do the work for the final third stuff, yeah, he could work.
100%. Yeah.
Who we got next?
Fred. Fred is a very interesting character for Fred because, I think that we've seen the best out of Fred, and for me, his best game was, of course, when he played against Manchester City, and basically pocketed De Bruyne. Like De Bruyne just was a no-show in this game. just completely gone. And he is one of the few one of many players, so that like I feel has improved being under Ten Hag. I don't think anyone can say that Fred hasn't. Yes, Fred isn't world class or whatever, but under Ten Hag, we've seen at least a more consistent Fred. I think that's the key thing. Like it's like under Ollie, yes, he had he had some good games, but it wasn't consistent. I think now under Ten Hag, especially playing alongside when he plays alongside Casemiro, we see a much more consistent Fred. I still think we could get better, but for me, I would put him in. And I certainly think that against when we need to win a midfield battle, like against like more physical opposition, and better opposition, like the Cities, the Arsenals, etc. I feel like you need to play Fred because I just think Eriksen doesn't have the legs or the tenacity to be able to actually help us in that. So for me, I would put him in the it's difficult. Reliable
Well, it's got
squad.
to be squad player, isn't it? I mean,
Squad.
like you said, under Ole, you're getting when he's playing too many games, we see the inconsistency. When he's like got like the one-off game where he comes in, he's got a job to do. You know what I mean? He can do it. Like you said, against De Bruyne, was holding his hand all match, man, kept him quiet. We just saw in the FA Cup game when he came in, off the bench, did a little back flick showing that he's a Brazilian, so
Brazilian passport, man. Brazilian passport.
One thing I like about Erik ten Hag is it's very clear to see, like, how we do this ranking thing. It's very clear to see that he has that in his mind as well. Because Fred is ideally perfect squad player. Like, and that's how Ten Hag uses him. Ten Hag uses him whenever he needs, brings him on whenever he wants, plays him whenever he wants. Perfect squad player. Perfect squad player. He's what the squad player. He is what is a squad, like the definition of a squad player is Fred. He's a squad player.
And the thing is, most importantly, he's happy to be a squad player.
Yes.
That's the key thing. Like at the end of the day, people need to realize that Ten Hag is trying to build a squad, not a best starting 11. So we want to have a good starting 11, but it's also important that you have other players in that squad. Like in City, there are plenty of players at City, not all of them, as we see, like Bernardo Silva, etc., but certainly some of them that are happy to be squad players at Manchester City. And we need that at Manchester United as well. You can't have a situation where you have players on the bench that aren't happy, want to force move, etc. We need that. And Fred is one of the few people that's like, I'm happy to do my bit, hard work, and be a squad player for Manchester United. So, I think he goes in a squad player situation. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, man.
Raphael Varane. Raphael Varane, man.
I don't even think we need a discussion. It's just world class, man. This guy. I mean, even during last season when we had our worst season, we knew he was one of the better players. This guy's got a great mentality, man. Just I mean, his recovery pace, still at his age, the way he's able to read the game. Maybe some of his distribution out from the back is bad, but come on, he's a defender. So, what I mean? He's great at defending. World class for me.
I think with Varane, I feel bad for him because Varane should be, he deserves more hype on his name. Because this season, I 100% agree, he's been absolutely amazing. Like, I don't remember a game or moment where he did anything wrong. I don't remember. Because he didn't start the 2 first games. He didn't start at all. And as soon as he came on, and started games, I don't think he put a foot wrong. I mean, he's been that good. I know Martinez is a new shiny toy, new guy and everyone loves Martinez, but Varane has been like his leadership, the way he calms the defense, the way he marshals the defense, the way he just like chill, like he just everything else happening around him, he's calm. He's calm. No panic station, no nothing.
He's done well recently to keep his fitness because we thought he was like injury prone. He's been playing a lot of games, played the World Cup. He's come back and he's still keeping up the fitness.
I don't know what Ten Hag has done in terms of like, I remember that during preseason he had like a package for him that he'd do individual training that he was doing for Varane, where Varane was not, he didn't play much of preseason, but and everyone was like, people were actually worried about that. But I don't know, man. He just looks like Thank you, Real Madrid. Like, thank you so much. Like, thank
Yeah,
you, man. World
Now,
class,
speaking of
absolutely world
another
class.
world class player, RDS, shout has been shout. RDS, your boy Oshiman
yeah,
is balling.
Oh my
I
god.
want United to
Oh
go all
my
out to get
god.
Oshiman in the summer.
Oh my
United need
god,
to go all out to get Oshiman in the summer. Pay Napoli, whatever, because
man.
I I know Kane. I know there's a Kane thing, there's a Kane angle, and I won't be adverse to Kane. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll be biased, especially as a Nigerian. I'd be like, yeah, Oshiman to
yeah.
United would be nice. If you're talking
He
about
is
a front
so good.
three, you know,
He's
if
so good,
Sancho comes back and Sancho starts to cook, you know, and then you've got Sancho, Oshiman, and then
Mm.
Rashford doing his thing, his form now.
bro.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to
That's
you.
nice. That's
The whole
nice.
the whole Harry Kane versus Osimhen. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm one of those people. I sit on the fence. I don't mind either or,
No.
but like, cause I think they're both amazing. I'm not, and like the thing is like I understand Victor Osimhen is younger than Harry Kane and he has more upside, etc., etc.
Mm,
But also Kane has been unbelievable. Like
yeah.
he's
mm,
been unbelievable. So, but
mm,
bro, Victor Osimhen, what a player, man! What a
mm,
player! That
mm.
goal today, woo, what a
What was the
goal!
score, by the way? So they beat Roma, didn't
Two
they?
one.
They beat Roma,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
two
okay.
one, yeah, two
two
one.
Thursday's in
one.
the mud, by the way. But yeah, coming to Osimhen, like it's him versus Kane. It's weird because obviously, like Kane, like the way he's able to drop deep now, and, like
Yeah,
get involved with assists as well as like getting in the box and getting goals. Like he's still good, but I'm worried about when he's gonna have that season when he's just like you just see his legs go because we already started to see his legs kind of go this season.
Mm,
He's slower, he's a lot slower, but it's
mm,
like I like the freshness of Osimhen, and he's gonna
mm.
have that kind of mentality of because they're gonna win the league at Napoli, so he's gonna
yeah.
have that winning mentality. If we get a winner, he's gonna
Mm,
come in. He's gonna have that ego and back it up with like the goals and everything. So
Bro, that's
yeah, I'll
scary
probably
though.
get Oshman because he's younger and fresher and he's a winner.
Eddie
mm.
just scary though. If we get Usher, you know how scary Man United will be.
Yeah,
Like,
if we want to challenge for the title next
oh
season, and we get
man,
new owners, new oil owners are like, we want United to be back.
Yeah.
They'll be like, listen, statement signing, 120 mil, Oshman, come on, let's go and let's go. Then suddenly, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, it's
Artists, I'm
mm,
not gonna lie to
scary.
you though, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, people don't understand. Like, certain signings can take a football club to a different level.
of course.
We already seen us what the we've been crying out for a CDM replacement for Mike Carrick for so long. We end up getting Matic. That yeah, he was good, but he wasn't the same Matic. He wasn't when we signed him.
Mm,
We all seen what the difference Casemiro is making to our team.
mm,
Imagine if we finally replace Robert
mm,
Van Persie
mm,
finally with a
mm,
prop. You know,
Oh,
but this is the thing that people don't understand. Like, once we
mm.
sign a proper striker, United would just go a different level.
Yeah, they will.
Like,
Yeah.
and that I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, guys. That's why I want this club to be sold, because, bro,
ASAP.
exciting times, people.
ASAP.
Exciting
yeah.
times.
ASAP.
Yeah, man. I want
Right.
that
Let's.
Todd Bowley to come in for us, man. But like a Todd Bowley that knows ball, there, innit? Because I don't know,
Yeah.
because
Mm,
Todd's one of them Americans. I don't know if he knows ball. You know, if we get someone that knows ball and has money, yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna
We
be
don't even
over.
have to know ball. Just like just good the money. I mean, like you know, I don't know whether Newcastle owners know ball, but like they know they back in the manager, and more importantly, they're hiring the right people who do. You
Yeah,
know, so you might not know ball, but at least hire the right people who do know. That's all you
yeah.
have to do. You know what I mean? You know, so don't bring in Merton or Woodwards and stuff like that. Just bring in footballing people who know how to run a show, and then that's it. You know, that's all I
Artists,
ask.
I'm not gonna lie to you. if if and when
Mm,
get taken over, I think the best signing the new owners will do has to be a director of football. And for me, the ideal director and the most perfect, and it will take us to what, like, it will literally this signing will create a dynasty. It will become a millionaire. It will become a dynasty, and that's Michael Edwards. Get
mm,
Michael Evans to OT. That's what I'm saying. I don't care if people say, "Oh, he's a Liverpool." He went. I don't care. It's more sweeter. This is even better. The fact that he was there when
mm,
Liverpool was great. It's
mm,
even better. Bring
mm,
it to
mm,
United, bro.
mm,
We will go. We will eat, man. We will
mm,
get. We will. I'm telling you, like, Michael Edwards. leaving Liverpool has a lot to do with the way Liverpool are the situation they are in today. So yeah,
No, I don't
bro.
disagree with that. Let's quickly go back to it. So I think we said nothing with Varane. Varane is in the world class category. I think there's any debate there. Victor Lindelof, who's not really had much game time today. Apparently, Fritz said recently that he was actually offered, well, not offered, but I think Atletico and Inter were interested, but United refused to sell. Obviously, with Lisandro balling, with Varane being there, even with Luke Shaw playing as left-sided centre back, are we in a stage where Lindelof should be sold, or do you think that he's still a reasonably good squad player to have? Because when he's played, I can't say poor, because when he's played, he's not played poorly. So I don't think you can put it in the poor category. What do people think?
I let me say this. Erik ten Hag loves, he really likes Lindelof, and it is very obvious that he would have, because Lindelof, in terms of ball playing, he's one of the best. He's one of the best ball playing center backs out there. Like Lindelof's ability on the ball is different. We all know, like before Erik ten Hag, that straight ball to Rashford, where Rashford will run on. We all know, like, Lindelof's ball playing ability is very good. So for me, I I I understand why Erik ten Hag is not. He's very hesitant to let him go, because Erik ten Hag likes his number one priority as a defender for him as center back is for your ability to play the ball. Like, that's his number one for him. Everything else is secondary in terms of Erik ten Hag's mindset. That's the way he thinks. He's a madman. He's crazy. Um, but I don't know. He's been good. I think he's been good, to be honest. Like, he hasn't been great. He hasn't been amazing. I just think he's been steady.
Yeah. I would say it's a bit weird though that when he could have come in, he didn't come in. It was Luke Shaw coming in, like RDS was saying. So it's like, was he really, steady? Was he really okay? Because surely he should be over Luke Shaw as like a replacement centre back.
Bro, Erik ten Hag, the way he thinks, I don't know. Like, because the thing is, like, you look at Malacia. I mean, he started a lot of times at left back, but Luke Shaw has started a lot of times in left back as well. So I don't know. Like, I think the one thing that Lindelof does not have that a lot of people is very obvious is pace, and Luke Shaw has been he done very well at center. I don't know. Maybe it's the left sidedness. Martinez not there, so you'll want a left footed center back.
I mean, at the end of the day, you need 4 centre backs at least. And right now you have Lisandro, you have obviously Varane, although Varane does still pick up injuries. So you have Maguire and you have Lindelof. So you have those 4. There are others, obviously Twan Phil Jones, etc. But we'll get to those later. But now Luke Shaw could potentially deputize there because you've got Malacia now. So for me, you're in a situation where if Luke Shaw can do that, then you probably need to sell. I think you still need to have at least one of Lindelof and Maguire. And what I would say is that I think that Lindelof so far, because we haven't seen anything with so far, is probably still happy or content to be a squad player. But I don't know whether Maguire is. I don't think Maguire is content to be a squad player, but the impression
he's got to go because, like, he was captain, right? You can't go from captain to like playing 5 minutes and all of that. I think he will still have the ego where he still needs to like think he's like a first teamer. He's got to go. But anyway, I was going to say on Lindelof. For me, I can't get around him not being picked over Luke Shaw, so I would vote for Paul. All the times where he could have come in and Luke Shaw starting there, I can't have a left back starting in front of him.
But Eddie, don't forget, he only started over Luke Shaw when Martinez didn't start. And the thing is, Martinez is a left-footed center back. Luke Shaw is a left-footed left back. The thing is, Erik ten Hag is attention to details, Eddie. He's very, like, Lindelof is preferred foot is right foot. He's not a left footer. So he prefers the defenders to be, if you're going to play on the left side of center back, you have to be left-footed. That's why Martinez always starts. And if Martinez doesn't start, the only player in our whole squad that is a left-footed that can play as a center back is Luke Shaw. So,
okay, I hear that point, but I remember when obviously last season was painful to remember, but there was a point where it was Lindelof and Varane, and they were looking good for certain games. I remember there was certain games they were looking good in the high press, and I don't know who was left centre back. I forgot. Maybe it might have been Varane, but for me, I think surely Ten Hag would have seen that he was actually okay last season to come in and play.
Think about it.
Alongside Varane, so
think about it. It seems every time Lindelof starts, he's right next to Martinez. Even if Harry Maguire starts, and not a lot, especially in the beginning of the season, he started on the right side alongside Martinez that's left-sided. So I get what you're saying, but it really has to do with the ball playing ability. If you're right-footed, he prefers you to be a right center back. He does not prefer you to be on your left center back, and you've seen the difference. Like I don't know why. Like I love studying football, but it makes such a difference if you're a left-sided center back, if you're left-footed. It does. It really does. So yeah.
No, absolutely. Right. Okay. So where we oh, actually, before I get into it, let me just quickly with some comments. Esm says, Eddie, don't cap. You're scared of Syria attacks.
I can't even remember what I was saying to get that comment. I was like, all I was saying is that Napoli are too far ahead for it to like be a good title race. I think that's what I said, right?
I think it's just regarding Osherman and whether and I'm not sure about Osherman. There's something that you said about Osherman where
I want Osherman. I'm sure I said that.
Anyway. No, I think Napoli is just amazing right now, man. They're arguably the best club best performing club probably in the world right now.
Mo has a good point. Varane can't play every game and need a backup with a similar profile. That's not Lindelof for me.
True.
Interesting. That was David T is a that's why I love this community. Thank you guys for watching. David T says Lindelof is good. And he's a shout out to he's also a member of the channel as well. Thank you, man. Lindelof is a good. People just remember 2 times he got beaten for physicality by a West Brom and West Ham striker and used that against him.
He's just not that guy though. Like
my opinion is that the startings are going to be Lisandro and Varane. That's it. It's gone. Now potentially you can have Luke Shaw playing in that position as well. So if you're going to bring another centre back, it's going to be a centre back that has to be prepared to be a squad player. And so the question is, how much will United have to go and spend in the summer to find a guy who's the quality to deputize, and is also happy to be a squad player? And then when you think about that, you think, is it worth selling Lindelof or not? Those are the questions I think you've got to think about, because yes, there's plenty of defenders out there that are better than Lindelof, but again, how many of them are willing to sit on the whole bench, and how much they're going to cost? Because there's no way that United should spend more than 50, 60 million on a player that's just going to hold the bench. That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, we still have players like Twanzebe, so maybe some of these guys could step up. Because obviously Ten Hag's a coach. Maybe he can galvanize these guys that are youth prospects who could come in.
Eddie, what's crazy though? I was listening to the FA Cup press conference prior to the game, the Ten Hag one, and someone actually asked him about Phil Jones, and bro,
yes, come on.
No. You know what he said? You know what he said? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I laughed so hard. They asked him about Phil Jones and his playing time. So these journalists are just weird. These reporters are just weird. Why? Why would you even ask? You know what he said? He said Phil Jones has been injured the entire season. Like he's not available because he's always injured. He literally word for word said that. I couldn't stop laughing. I could not stop. Like he said, bro's not available. Talking about playing him. Bro's not available. He said you had to be available to be played. No, it was hilarious, bro. It was
Funny
hilarious.
people.
Now,
Funny
for real
people.
though, just one thing on the Phil Jones, it's irritating to have this guy still there. Like he's stealing
Contract.
away.
I think his contract is up in the summer. I think his contract's up in the summer.
Good.
So
that should be the end of
ridiculous,
him.
bro.
Yeah, come on.
So where are we putting Lindelof?
I said squad player. I'm gonna be nice, bro.
I say squad player as well.
Yeah, he's a squad player.
Right. Diego Dallo. Diego Dallo. Now, I would have actually put him in reliable, but his recent injury is now making me a little bit concerned.
What's his injury, by the way?
We don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know because, and that's what makes me a little bit. I'm like, I mean, we have to look at the full season and for the overall the season so far, for what he's delivered, you've got to put him with reliable. At the end of the season, we might have another question because essentially you're having a situation where Dallo has played the first half of the season, and now in a situation where Wan-Bissaka is playing the second half of the season.
Yeah,
which means he's not reliable. Which means you're not reliable.
We're judging the first half of the season because it's a mid-season review.
Yeah.
So from the beginning of the season till now, Dallo's basically been that dude. It's only been since the beginning of the year, so like January essentially that.
I'm so upset. Like, I know certain things you can't control, injuries and stuff like that, but it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating with the law because like now we're in a situation where we're down to one right back. Like that's crazy. Like that is so crazy to me. It's like Wan-Bissaka is our only right back. Now in a situation now, like Wan-Bissaka is like one of the most important players that we have. Because if we don't, lose,
Brandon Williams can play there. He's right-footed.
Come on, Brandon Williams. Does that still play football? Like, is he still around? Like,
he's been missing, hasn't he? Yeah.
No, I'm just. It's just like it's for me. I just so frustrated a lot. Like I don't know. But I guess if we're judging him off the first half of the season, he's been absolutely brilliant. He's been so reliable. So he's been fantastic.
Yeah, well, I probably have to agree because, like, is it like ever since the World Cup ended? That's when he was like injured, wasn't it? Since the World Cup, wasn't it? I'm around.
Since the World Cup. Since the World Cup.
Yeah, so he's played the majority of the first half of the season. So, he's from what I remember, he's been steady. You know, not really making mistakes. Been good going forward. I would have to say reliable as well, man.
Let's have a look what the comments say. Mo says Dallo squad player given what AWB has shown. Samasi says Dallo crossing is amazing and runs behind so doesn't, which is true. I don't think there's any debate that Dallo is better going forward than Wan-Bissaka. I don't think there's any debate about that. I don't think.
Wan-Bissaka recently, though, bro. You see, remember the derby when he was killing players in the second half.
And to be honest, even against Reading and Forrest, like this, like the amount of crosses that Wan-Bissaka was spamming in, crossing, and no one was onto it. So, you know, Moses AW is running behind now. Samasi, I think he's a magician. Yeah. So he is. I still think that Dallo is still better, but let's not take away from Wan-Bissaka that he's not doing anything, you know?
Quickly on Wan-Bissaka, one thing that I'll say about Wan-Bissaka is I understand his limitation, but there's something that he excels in very well, and that's 1v1 defending. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, and this is something that like I kind of
get that tackle against Zaha,
bro. I put my hands up because I'm like, it's one thing to be very good at a lot of things, but then like that's why a lot of players they're all rounded, but then there's a few players that like they exceed an aspect of the game and they're like better than everyone else, and that's the Wan-Bissaka. He's in terms of 1v1 defending, like even if you pass him, he still gets the ball. It's insane, absolutely insane. So
I've never seen someone so accurate with a sliding challenge. Those are risky, and he even does them in the box as well. I remember against Arsenal, he did a sliding challenge in the box, against.
I mean, aside from he gave away
yeah.
one penalty once, but aside from that, when he's done, he's not done it. You know,
It's
so
ridiculous. It's
even
crazy.
Zaha
Man.
was like in the post-match interview was like, he literally said Zaha was like, when I saw it was because he was ahead of him. Obviously, Zaha was ahead of him, and then he looked behind and was like, when I saw it was Aaron, he was like, oh my goodness. It was like he knew, like when he saw Wan-Bissaka, when it was like, I'm not gonna score because of how good Aaron is. Dallo is fine. A part of me says he's still not ready to be started, but he's consistent. Aaron Badini says Ilya, relax on AW, don't bring up against championship team. So I've seen people are saying maybe Dallo and Wan are almost like in the squad player category.
At this moment in time, they'll be competing now, isn't it? Because we're seeing the improvement in Wan-Bissaka. I think Wan-Bissaka is going to be up for reliable in the second half of the season if he keeps going like this.
You know, Eddie, it's crazy. You know what's crazy, right? It's crazy because I've said this about Wan-Bissaka, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to get too carried away and etc. Right? Because there was a time where I was like, you know what? Nah, he just might not be that guy, But I've said it. If a manager can get somewhat of a football ability out of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and we've been seeing it a little bit. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? If a manager could do that and actually coach this guy, yo, Wan-Bissaka, like, because his defensive ability, like, there's still work needs to be done. Because I think his defensive positioning sometimes, especially in the whole Eddie and Ketia cross, that one was ridiculous. Sometimes his position is not so great. But if a coach can coach this guy, guys, like, this guy could be a monster. Because his one-on-one defending is ridiculous. Like, that's locked down. He will lock down. Like, who was on the right? Was it Foden? Foden got subbed. Foden could play. It was GG's for Foden. Foden was on. He's still on the bench. After that performance, Foden's still on the bench. He hasn't played it. So it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, man. Because like on the Wan-Bissaka has always been like not having the ability to watch a cross come to the far post and mark a man. It's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah,
but it can be coached into him. I'm sure it can. Like, that's what training's for. You can have drills where you just focus on that, and the guy can get better. You know what I mean? An old dog can learn new tricks, man. I don't think Wan-Bissaka is even old as well. He's still
weird though. Like,
young.
It's weird because, like, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this. It's weird. The most attacking right back is Trent, and you see this season he's having, where like people are completely like targeting him. Like, we saw what happened today with Mitoma. Mitoma was like, look, that Trent was like, this is he had fun. So we see, it's crazy how we see like the most attacking right back that not good at defensively the season he's having, and now it looks like Wan-Bissaka is having himself a decent season. It's crazy how things flipped,
Jeez. Let's see what's so who's next? Anthony. Interesting. And now the thing is, the thing with Anthony though is that, like, because Sancho has been out injured, like United and obviously Ahmad and Plesio are doing their thing. He is the only right winger, unless Bruno obviously is shifted over to the right. So you can't. You almost have to put him in. Do you put him in Paul?
I was going to say Paul, because for me, I really go a lot off the eye test. I know Anthony has some goals. You know what I mean? The one against Man City, beautiful. I think he scored against Everton, scored in the cup. There's a few goals he's been getting, but I don't think he's got any assists. Has he got any assists?
No, he does. He has assists. He's had assists.
Yeah.
My friend assisted yesterday.
I've got a friend who is a Man United fan as well, and he said he had no assists. I don't know if he's got an agenda against him, because he's been saying Anthony's poor. Every game I'm watching, he texts me, "Oh, Anthony looks like crap." But Anthony's, he can pass a short distance, but I'm not seeing enough dribbling. You know what I mean? We saw the ball spin against, what was it, Sheriff. that was ridiculous, and he passed the ball out of play. Ever since then, it's been like a magnifying glass on Anthony, and I just keep remembering things like when he was dribbling against Arsenal, and I thought he was a quick player, but then we've seen how Partey, who's not even fast, was catching up to him from like how many yards back. So he's a bit worrying on dribbling, pace, decision making as well. Because like when we see Garnacho come on, I don't know about you guys, but Garnacho just looks like he's way ahead in terms of just beating the player quickly, drop the shoulder and go. Like we don't see that from Anthony. If you look at other people like Mahrez, who are slow as well, but have quick feet, you see him do a little quick step over, then he's gone. Anthony doesn't do that kind of thing. So for 100 million, I'm still. People say, okay, don't look at the price tag, but I'm going to look at it though. We spent a lot, yeah, and I expect someone to come in and do better than what he's done. I think he's been poor.
Before I go to Yasser, there's keep his confidence is growing. The way him and Rashford were spinning bare men in the Reading game, the confidence is coming for now. Squad player. Mo says, and Elias says, Anthony's been okay. Mo says definitely needs to improve, but he makes the team better overall game. Still, I would say poor. Esme says the thing with Anthony is that he needs to be more assertive. Like sometimes he gets past the guy, but then he will stop, go back, and try to get past him again. He's almost too street. He needs coaching. Okay, that's interesting. Given that,
I don't even see him get past the man enough. I don't even see that.
Give him some time to Anthony. He'll be great. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I don't think anyone's saying sell him like that. Like it's his first season, and some people, breakthrough. They need time. So I don't think there's any doubts about that.
I think next season he will come good, because we see people like Vinicius Junior. Remember how bad he was in his first season for Real Madrid. I'm sure I heard that like people like Benzema were saying, "Don't pass Vinicius. He's against us." Yeah, he was that bad. And then next season he turned up, man. So I think it might be a confidence thing. A kind of culture clash where he's still adjusting. Hopefully, it's that.
Yasser, thoughts before we move on? You're mute, Yasser. You're mute.
Yeah, my bad. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. 100 million. You do expect more. I see what Eddie is saying, but it's like with Anthony, is like sometimes I feel like he tries too hard at times, and sometimes in football when you try too hard, like especially against the Reading game, I thought he had one of his best games against Reading. I thought he was fantastic against Reading. He didn't get a goal. His assist to Casemiro was brilliant assist to Casemiro. But for me, it's like I feel like sometimes he tries too hard. He favors his left foot way too much, and sometimes when he could literally, he's too much of a left-footed in legit. Like he's like he's Robin-esque in terms of his left foot. Like that's how much of a left foot is. He always looking for the left curler. But one thing I'll say is, as bad as he was against in the Arsenal game, we lost that game because he wasn't on the pitch. And one thing that Anthony does is like he keeps the pitch wide. That's one thing I like about him. And he plays that role in the structurally. He plays the winger role very well. He does very well. And to be honest, I know this is like me giving him excuses, but I feel like Anthony is one of those players that is gonna explode. Like because the thing is, like, one thing I don't want a player is to come in and not put in effort, not try. Then that's like mental. And that's one thing I feel like maybe, and I don't want to talk too much about it, but maybe that's what something's happened with Sancho. It probably has to do with like a mental aspect, not the ability aspect. But with Anthony, it's like he has a mentality. He's trying. But it's not coming off. And once it starts to come off, he'll be unstoppable. So I do think he's poor, but coming back, if we're probably gonna do the end of the season review, and people are gonna have different opinions about him, because I think he's gonna be unbelievable. Because like you can see it, like when you watch it, like when I use my eye test, I'm like, yeah, this is a player that's trying, but then things are just not popping off. And once they start popping off, like for example, remember like beginning of the season, Rashford was like in a surly situation where he will get opportunities to go and goal. He won't get, he will like, won't score enough goals. Like in his scoring, like his goal scoring was like not that high, but you can see him trying. Keep going, and all of a sudden now he starts to score goals. Similar with Anthony. Anthony, you're gonna start seeing him get more assists, more goals, more effect in the game. Yeah, so I'll say he's poor, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried. No.
Cool. Okay, so we'll
Eddie
put
Eddie He will be one of your favorite players, guaranteed.
I'm
Guaranteed.
hoping. I'm
Yeah,
hoping.
bro. Now he's
right.
a bowler. Now
I'm
he's a
thinking
bowler.
next season. Next season, yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping he's adapted to the culture and everything like that.
Mm.
He's got to work for 100 million. We've had too many wingers that have been flopping since
Yeah.
Ronaldo, and Nani. Like we've been in the wilderness for wingers. It's just not been good enough.
Beef Billy says, Red Devil, can we get in a few man before Tuesday night? We can take Tillemans or O'Reilly. I will say no. I'll say nobody. Let's keep it a stack. I will be going live, but I'm literally my United deadline transfer day is going to be like 10 minutes maximum on United transfers, and then possibly on what Chelsea, Liverpool, City, or Arsenal are going to do.
I don't
David
see that. We
says,
don't have a Todd Bowley yet, do we? So
no,
we're
we
not going to
don't.
get them campaigns.
David T says there's a constant battle between Yasser and his mute button. I don't disagree with that. SMB says what made Robin great was that you knew what he was going to do and you couldn't stop it. Let Anthony have some coaching, simplify his game, but gain some muscle and get fast, and he will explode. That's fair. Anthony isn't at fault when you pay. Yeah, I mean he's not the reason. Although to be fair, he did force himself out of the club, so kind of I know what Liverpool is doing transfer deadline day low. Yes, we know what you're doing. You want to get Caicedo, don't you? Yeah, we're not going to buy any players, unfortunately. Right.
It's so sad, bro.
This next person I think needs no introduction. Casemiro.
He's been world class.
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
There could be a separate tier for him above world class.
Yes.
Elite.
No, it's crazy.
We could almost make a separate tier and put him like he has been United's best player of the season so far. United just don't work without Casemiro. I'm still amazed as to how and the thing is, shout out to Rabiot's mom. Shout out to Rabiot's mom. Shout out to Rabiot's mom, because had Rabiot's mom not said, I want more money for me and my son, United would have bought Rabiot and not Casemiro, Clutchamiro. Like we could have had. I'm not saying Rabiot is terrible, but is he Casemiro level?
Nah, compared to Casemiro, he's terrible, man. We saw him in the World Cup, man. We saw him in the World Cup for France. I'm sure like Chouameni was the better guy. Rabiot would go quiet like McTominay at times when I was watching. Nah, man.
Rabiot, in my opinion, is a French McTominay. Like he can have good. He can have good games.
I think he's better. Come on, guys. I don't think he's that bad. Like I don't rate McTominay. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know. McTominay is not. I don't know why we're keeping him. Apparently, other clubs are actually willing to offer us a lot of money for him, like Newcastle and such. And
we should
sell him. Nothing, man. Come on, man.
Like 35 mil, bro. That's what I'm hearing. 35.
I take 45 mil.
That's crazy, but I don't know. Casemiro, man. Like one thing that I would say about Casemiro is I feel bad. I feel really bad for Casemiro, because what if he never moved to United? Like I feel like and it's not their fault. One thing I realized is EPL fans watch a lot of EPL. They don't watch a lot of other football. So it's like the reaction to how good Casemiro is and how good he has been for United has been a surprise for a lot of people. Like a lot of people didn't think he was this good. And then for me, it's like, because I live over the States, so we have access to a lot of football. I've watched a lot of Real Madrid. I've seen how good he's been. And I'm gonna say this, even I am impressed how good he is for United, because I thought he kind of fell off a little bit for Real Madrid. Not too much, but I thought he was on a decline. And man, oh man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy, man, because like this is what the midfielder that was the best DM in the world for a while. He was. And then it looks like he got even better. It looks like it look like he's a lot younger now. He looks like he's a lot, he's just doing things that like he's turning back the clock of time. Bro, the first goal he scored where he just ran through and just chipped
Oh no, that's
man.
That's a forwards finish. How's
Bro,
he doing a forwards finish?
It's just wild, bro.
I think
Wild.
SMB has got a good point. I think it's just, I think how good Casemiro going forward surprised a lot of EPL fans too. I think that's the thing. I don't think people thought that Casemiro was like a bad player, was a good one. I think the thing is that because at Real Madrid, Toni Kroos and Modric were seen as being much better on the ball going forward. Casemiro had like a responsibility. He was a DM, he was the enforcer, the protector, and that was his role. And he didn't need to be good going forward because he had all that taken care of. He didn't need to necessarily be good on the ball because you got Modric. But now in United midfield, where it's like, where the midfield is average, and where your talents are going to be seen. It's just obvious. You can see more of what Casemiro can do and can bring, and the fact that he's so good. I mean, you could make an argument that you could potentially play Casemiro slightly further forward if you wanted. Because
I was going to say that he could play as like a number 8. Yeah, and we just get like if we have a good scouting network to get another DM. Because Casemiro with that because his passing as well is amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm peeved. I mean, I'm like, imagine Casemiro and Caicedo playing together. Well, imagine Casemiro and Pogba playing together. Won't go that.
Oh my god!
But
imagine, bro. The thing that really hurts, because I said this for a very long time. I said this this summer. I said I won't be surprised if when Pogba leaves, Man United signs the DM we were all waiting for, and that's what happened, bro. Like, because the thing is, like, this is what United do, and this is the thing that I would pray we get new owners, because we need a Pogba replacement. Because if we have a Pogba replacement, a player that can do at least reach the levels that Pogba has reached for United, guys, our midfield will be unstoppable. Our midfield will be absolute. We need an 8. If we have an 8, bro, we'll be unstoppable. We'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, just a last point on Casemiro. I mean, I really like the Premier League. I watched like a lot of it more compared to other leagues. But I was watching Real Madrid when they had Bale, Ronaldo, and Benzema. Like I was watching it during that time, and that's when Casemiro was at his peak. I knew he was awesome, but because he was getting older, I thought we may have bought a burnt out Casemiro, but he's completely proved me wrong. Like you were saying, RDS, he has more responsibility in this team, so we can see like not just the holding midfielder role of his skill set. We can see the passing, getting forward, getting into the box, and getting goals, things like that. So the guy's he's been a revelation, man. He's been a general. I would love to see him eventually as the captain. I think he's got better traits, better leadership traits than Bruno. By leading by example.
And I think just to add on to that, I think that's credit to Erik ten Hag. I don't think I think Casemiro for Real Madrid. I don't know if now I'm thinking about it. I don't think he's been in a more possession based, more advanced style play like Erik ten Hag. I think Erik ten Hag's role for Casemiro is a lot different than the role he was at when he was coach under Ancelotti Zidane. I think Ancelotti Zidane wanted him to be more of a six, like a sitting 6, where Ten Hag wants the 6 to be more a ball playing 6. And man, not only did he said, you know what? Not only can I do that, I'm gonna show you how to do it. Like that's what he said. Don't worry, Gaffer. I got this. I got this.
Fair. Let's quickly move on. I'll just quickly some comments here. Casemiro actually used to be an attacker in his youth, from what I've heard. He has had these tools in the bag, and this is the first time probably since youth since he's been able to use them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Pray Casemiro not to get injured. Yes, if that happens, United are finished. Although to be fair, they held their own somewhat against Arsenal. Whatever you say about the Arsenal, they did kind of hold their own, even though we lost at the Emirates. they tried their best. Although I think Fred would have been better than McTominay and Eriksen. What did I hear? Right, Pogba to nah. Relax. Pogba can stay. Pogba can stay there.
Bro, he hasn't played a game yet, which is crazy. He still hasn't played a game for Juve.
Not played a game.
That's crazy.
Witchcraft tax, man.
They don't need them now that they're in mid-table, aren't they?
Yeah.
To turn
Let me quickly. So Tom Heaton,
sell him. I mean,
well, he's not going to be the number one. So what? I think I don't know. I think he's for third choice. Just if he's going to be second, third choice keeper, just
we have Butland though. Like I don't understand.
Butland's only on loan though. Butland's only a loan move. Butland was basically to replace Dubravka because Dubravka went back to Newcastle. So Butland is now basically on a loan.
I don't get that though. I don't understand why we necessarily need a third choice goalkeeper. Why couldn't we just get one from the youth academy?
Yeah, I don't get that.
I don't get that. Yeah, like
I don't know. Maybe they thought that the coming of the youth academy isn't good enough yet. So, but you definitely need to always have 3 first. I think it's a rule. You need to have at least 3 registered number 1 first team keepers. You have to have 3.
Okay.
So
I'll just say real quick, squad player, and I'm done with Heaton.
Yeah, just put
no, he's been poor. No.
Luke Shaw, reliable. It's got to be
reliable. Or old reliable.
Old reliable Shaw. Always when he gets some competition. When he gets some competition, Luke Shaw does his thing, man. Luke Shaw does his thing.
That's crazy, man. It's so like then that's the answer for Luke Shaw. Then make sure he has competition. Like that's it. Then he just turns into like an amazing player. Like I don't know. It's crazy though. It really is crazy.
Oh, Juve. Oh dear.
What's Juve?
Sorry, I'm enjoying Juve being in the mud this season. So no, they lost at home 2-0 to Monza. So it's bad.
They're really in the mud. They're gonna lose a lot of their big players. I just got to say real quickly. I was on KG's show. Yeah, I was talking about we should be looking at Vlahovic as a striker because he's not going to want to stay in the mud with Juventus. He's going to want to come to a Champions League side. We're going to get Champions League. He's a good goal scorer. 0.6 goals a game is the stats I was looking at. He's been doing that for the past 4 or 5 seasons. Get Vlahovic into United. That's what I'm saying.
I don't disagree. And Mo says Shaw has been world class. Do you put Shaw in the world class category? Before I even go to Amande, from the Man United agenda, man. Amonde, man, really appreciate your body. Big up you, man. Evening pound, press up the like button, guys. And he says Eriksen would be world class for me. Okay, he's unique. How many midfield playmakers can dictate like him? Maybe I can name 5 in world footy. Fair enough.
Not for me.
Yeah, just like especially recently. He's looked like I said earlier, looked a bit like Bruno with his passing. So,
it's not only that, Eddie. It's like the issue with Eriksen I've had this throughout the whole season is he's off the ball when out of possession. He's just not a good 8. Like he just the amount of times like he gets. This is the thing. Casemiro got into trouble with the yellow cards because of Eriksen. There's many times where Casemiro had to take the yellow card because Eriksen, players will literally run past Eriksen, and Eriksen will be chasing, and Casemiro had to literally cover that ground. So, as much as I like Eriksen on the ball, but that football you play, there's two sides of football. Your ability on the ball and your ability off the ball, and especially when you're playing the EPL where like majority of the teams are going to press you, even the small teams, you need to be good off the ball, and he's not.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's down to Ten Hag as well. Just real quick, we've seen him play his best football in like attacking positions. It's been a bit of a weird position for him to play, but it's worked for some of the season, but just not enough. Like Yazid is saying, like. I don't think I can remember him making a challenge like where he's won the ball. I can't remember.
Let's quickly move on. I'll get some comments. Marcus Rashford.
Oh, you mean Rashbappe?
Rashbappe. Yes, it is As Rashford been have. I mean, you gotta. It's more than reliable. It's you gotta put it.
Nah, he's been world class, bro. Like
You
the
gotta
guy's
put it in
been
a world class.
unbelievable.
You gotta.
Like he's unbelievable. He's been unbelievable, and he got cheated off that goal yesterday. He should have broke the record.
Yeah,
should have broke the
I
record.
saw it was a questionable offside, to be honest. So
It's just
yeah, but,
that's a conversation for another time because these refs, man, ever since Jurgen Klopp opened his mouth and said something about United get too many calls, we don't get any penalties anymore. Like we have just weird decisions that go against us. It's pretty ridiculous.
He is. You gotta put Rashford here, man.
Yeah,
I mean, he's.
I'm just looking at his stats, like for the season, right? 18 goals and 29 appearances, like in all competitions.
Yeah, the
guy's been just on fire, man. And in terms of scoring in consecutive games, we've seen him like just put up numbers.
And United have a good couple of some decent fixtures, Premier League fixtures from now. Crystal Palace at home, Forrest, etc. So he's got a good at least 3 or 4 games against lower table opposition in the Premier League, to sort of to actually, I won't say stat pad, but improve himself. Quickly just get some comments. Omonde against the draw is world class. How many left backs in world footy based on the recent World Cup? He has been the best left back. I mean, compared to someone like Andy Robertson, who's been a fraud this season, I definitely agree. The Vorganator, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says, "Hi guys, new here. Hi Eddie."
Yeah, big up Vorganator.
Mawada says he also covered Leach at centre back and shot down a limb. Marcus Rashford, Suhu. Vorganator says reliable walkout zooming relating to Rashford. And Beef Billy says Red Devil here is anything. Red Devil here, I think why don't we play 4-3-1-2 with Anthony in the hole replacing Eriksen?
I think he might. I think maybe he might play Bruno deeper. For me, I've always wanted to see Bruno as an 8. I always wanted to see that, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what he does.
There needs to be a ranking between reliable and world class. It's well, we have squad player though. That's the thing. So for me, reliable doesn't mean like a squad player. Reliable means this is a consistent performer, a good performer, and world class is like this person has performed above and beyond what they've expected to at Manchester United. Like they are irreplaceable right now. And you've got to say.
So I was gonna say, ask Amonde like what the tier would be.
Yeah,
like,
what would the tier be, Monty? If you suggest, Rash has been brilliant since the World Cup. I agree. 3 goals at the World Cup as well for Rashford, exactly. And that Bumford Southgate didn't mess them around.
He cares too much. Southgate, like, did you guys see the quote he came out with? Like, bro, you care too much about what other people think. Like, coach. Like, no one. The reason why people have a problem with your selection is because you yourself are unsure about your selection. Like, you are here listening to everyone. People cried about Phil Foden. Phil Foden started the game. Like just coach, man. Be conviction, have conviction on your own. Like if someone asked me that question, I'd be like, hey, we did well, we did great, and this I did exactly what the team needed. That's it. Have conviction on your instead of saying, oh, people wanted Phil Foden to start, and not people wanted Marcus Rashford to start, yada yada, and I explaining yourself, bro.
Yeah. What do we expect from a manager that's like? I don't think he's won anything as a manager. Yeah, bro, the guy was like you were saying. Yeah, he changes his policy like monthly. Like you remember when you were saying I pick players based on form. That changed because you're picking Maguire when he had one of his worst seasons, and then he came up with the point that he said, "Oh, Maguire gets on well with the squad. That's why he's still in the squad." It's like
Mason Mount started like for the first couple of games when he's been horrendous this entire season, and then to the point that even Southgate couldn't start him anymore. Like that's how bad. Like Southgate is like, I'm not lying to you guys. I don't care what job it is. Have actual conviction on it. Even if you're doing a terrible job, just be your own manager. Do your thing, and who cares what people think, bro? Like at the end of the day, everyone's gonna have opinions, but so I don't know. I don't want to talk about Schalke anymore.
Yeah, let's move on from
Yeah.
Southgate. Let's move on to Southgate as well. So I'm wondering in that case, Eriksen's world class. Okay. The Volganator is reliable is 7 out of 10. World class is 8 out of 10 every single week. Yeah, exactly. Big up Nick Sports says, big up RDS. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it, man. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Anelia, I'm lowering life when I'm seeing on team pool. Oh, as in Liverpool in the mud. Liverpool in the mud. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, it's so fun. It's so fun.
Right.
Like, check out the Coppish, by the way. One of my favorite channels.
Amazing. It's the new FTV now. It's the new FTV.
Oh, amazing. Bro, today I was watching it, bro. Drifty Callum got into it because of Jurgen Klopp. It was hilarious. It was hilarious, bro.
So one of them's Klopp out, one of them's Klopp in.
Yeah, Drifty loves Klopp. Like Drifty cannot hear anything about Klopp. Like he cannot hear it. And Colin was just asking the question, and Colin got so mad to the point where he said, "You know what? I'm not gonna talk about Klopp no more because I get it." It was kind of spicy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It was kind of spicy, man.
Yeah, I need to watch. I've not been watching. I'm missing out.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Next on to a character who's been a bit divisive recently, and that's Jadon Sancho. Now, I don't really know what's been going on with Sancho. I mean, the last thing I remember Sancho doing, which was world class, was when he sat down James Milner at Old Trafford and scored that goal.
Amazing.
Which was an amazing goal.
Yeah.
But since then,
time ago for me.
Exactly. Since then, I think that was match day 4 or something. Since then, we've not seen him. He's had some issues, gone to training, etc. It clearly wasn't an injury. So whether it's something regarding to his mental health, etc., I don't know. Ten Hag is saying he's going to be coming back. So, but I don't know. Sancho's an enigma, really, because when he came to Manchester United, under Ollie, he was inconsistent. He had 1 or 2 good games, but for the amount of money that he paid, he didn't really come in, guns blazing. Now, we've seen again, he can do something, but in some of the games he did play, he just was off it. And the fact that Ten Hag literally seems to have it's weird because it's like clearly Ten Hag has spotted something where you're like, maybe he's not fit, maybe his mentality was off, maybe, like I said, there was a really bad mental health situation. I don't know, but he's not been where he should be, if that makes any sense. I mean, I don't know what anyone else to say. I mean, you gotta kind of put him in poor, I guess, given just the fact that he's been MIA.
It's weird. It's a weird transition to have Erik ten Hag as a manager because Erik ten Hag doesn't tell you anything. He doesn't. And that's the thing. And the fan base are going crazy with Sancho. I'm hearing conspiracy theories left, the right, center. I'm hearing like they fell out. I'm hearing like he doesn't fancy him, all that stuff. One thing I can say is I think Sancho is not. Erik ten Hag has a specific way of playing, and Sancho is not the type of I don't think he plays the way Erik ten Hag wants him to play in the system. And I think what Ten Hag, and this is just my opinion, I think what Ten Hag did was he just took him out of the team, took him out of everything, and I think he's working on him to. So once he comes back, he slots in perfectly in the team instead of I think. It's a lot of. I think he has to learn a lot, like what exactly Ten Hag wants from him as a winger, because I feel like Ten Hag is a very detail-oriented type of manager, and maybe he didn't like 1 or 2 things that Sancho was just not getting, in terms of exactly the way he wants him to play. And I think what he did was, you know what, I'm gonna take you out of the team. I'm gonna take you out of the limelight. I'm gonna have an individual program for you. I need you to work on that, and once you work on that, I bring you back, and then you hit the ground running. So I think that's the understanding got from Ten Hag and Sancho.
You know what? Yeah, I just got to come at you a little bit there because I thought And I thought that Sancho would be the kind of profile that Ten Hag wants, because we've seen like the way he plays. He's not like an explosive winger. Like he doesn't do like the pace in behind, all that kind of stuff. He does like the possession ball. Like when he was at Borussia Dortmund, he'd be like doing a lot of link-up play, you know. And I'm sure like that when I was watching Ten Hag's system at Ajax, that's what he likes. He likes the link-up, where like to keep the ball, you know, not spam it everywhere. You know, and Sancho was doing that at Borussia, you know, link it up with Hakimi, 1-2s, getting the ball to the forward, that kind of thing. For me, it seems like it's just his attitude. Like it seems like it's that, because
I mean, I get that.
He had a similar issue on the Ole where it was like he was being benched. He wasn't getting in the team. So I think it might be a mentality thing.
I don't know, because like as much as I see that point, look at the wingers we have now. Like, look at the people that actually play on the left. Garnacho, direct. Rashford, direct. Even Palestri, when he comes on, direct. Anthony Langa makes the bench. The one thing that Anthony Langa is actually decent in is pace, gets in behind. So I think,
bro,
Yasser,
you know, because I'm seeing what I know Ahmad is just at Sunderland, but like we shouldn't make no mistake, you know, there is going to be competition regardless, you know. So at some point, Anthony is going to get good, we hope, and then plus or minus, you might even see Palestri or like say an Ahmad, for example, coming in and doing his thing there. I actually can't wait to see what Ten Hag will do with Ahmad. I really can't, because I do think that there is a baller there, you know. So, you know, it's not so much to say that Sancho is a failure, flop, or something that they'll fight. I think the issue is that there'll come a point where, like, if you don't have the mentality yourself to, because it's like a teacher can only go so far, where they teach and teach and teach and teach, and then at some point you as a student have got to be like, right, I've got to put it in work, I've got to apply and do my thing, and if I don't, then I'm going to be behind the pack. And that's where I think that where the crossroads with Sancho, where for this season, hopefully when he comes back and eases in, he's learned from what Ten Hag, the whole individual training, his head is back on, as I think it was the Bolton saying, once Sancho's head's back on, he'll be fine, he'll be back. And hopefully that's the case, and he'll push on, and it'll be competition for Anthony.
Yeah.
Or he'll end up falling down the pack, and then you'll have Palestri, Ahmad, obviously Anthony, and even Bruno may have been shifted off to the wing. You know,
I think Nix was saying in the comments, another thing is his defensive duties. Like, I think that is something that's underlooked. And like Anthony, as bad as he can be on the ball and in terms of the attacking sense, he worked his butt off and he helps his wing back. He does. And Jay Sancho, that's something that he wasn't doing. I'm not gonna lie to you. And just go back to what Eddie said about the way Sancho plays is weird, because like the play that you were describing then was Jack Grealish. Look at Jack Grealish and what should we call it in Man City. He's also struggling. So I feel like in the APL, in the Premier League, you have to have more to your game than just be good at link up play and 1-2s and all that stuff. You need to the Leroy Sané's and Raheem Sterling's. You need to have that initiative to get in behind players.
That's a bit weird, Yazir, just real quick, because Anthony, we see what kind of profile he is. I would say it's similar to Sancho, where it's just like inverted link up. So that's what I was thinking. Sancho would be like Ten Hag's kind of player.
But that's why we like. That's what's so frustrating about Anthony. Why do you think people are so frustrated with Anthony? They want him to get in behind. They want him to go down the byline. That's what we want. And you look at Saka, you look at Martinelli, you look at Eriksen, Maxima. Guys, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, this league, like Nick said, is a PMP league. It is, especially if you're playing as a winger. It is. Is this the evidence is there? So no, Sancho will be fine. Sancho will be fine.
That's true, and I agree. And Links says the exact same comments exactly. Right. Okay. Let's quickly move because we'll probably start to run up the show. So I thought this would be like half, but actually it's it's a whole show in itself. So I'll probably come and address the other stuff on the show and on another stream.
Quickly,
so
Nick's
like 1.5 hours in, and we still got
shout out. Yeah, shout out to Neeks. Quick, I'm gonna say shout out to Neeks quickly because I've been reading his comments. I'm like, yeah, Neeks, you got a point there. I've been using these points. So shout out to Neeks, well.
Shout out to Neeks, man. Thanks for joining by, buddy, man. Appreciate it. And everyone else that's watching, man.
Yeah.
I'll get some. So Palestri. Palestri's an interesting one because he's obviously not had many games, but from what I've seen in Palestri, there's a baller there. He's not going to go on loan, which means that, well, we don't know. He's not going to go on loan, but we'll see. Deadline day.
I really hope it doesn't. Just real quick, like, I don't know why we're going to get to Elanga, but Elanga should be out of here by now. I think he's had enough chances. Yeah, we got Palestri's got World Cup experience, was playing like for Uruguay. We see he's a natural winger, you know what I mean? He likes to stretch the pitch, he likes to get a quick crossing. Sorry, but like we gotta see Palestri is a squad player and Elanga's got to go.
So you think Palestri should be a squad player, not loaned? You think he shouldn't be loaned?
That's what I would say, but I don't know what Ten Hag's saying. I don't think he gets enough time, does he? Really? Right.
I just think that like he's at the end of the day, if we're going to be realistic, how much game time is Palestri going to play from now to the end of the season? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Really. So for his own development, I think it'd make a lot more sense for him to go on a 6-month loan to like say Spain or something like that, so he can play regular games and then be ready for the next season. And then we don't have to worry about that side. And then just, because I'm just thinking, okay, yes, United in 4 competitions. Okay, maybe he could play against Forest this week because we've already won that game. I don't know who United will draw in the FA Cup, so maybe we might get a decent draw there. So basically, he might get a Carabao, 1 or 2 FA Cup games, Europa League, possibly, but we're talking like maybe maximum, I would say he would start, if anything, like 5 games.
I don't know, RDS. For me, I don't like loaning out players that have a chance to break into the first team. I think because the thing is, I'm not a big fan of loaning out players because I don't think it really works. It really doesn't. Because the thing is,
then they're not doing. But then I don't feel the benefit of just sitting on the bench though either, and not playing games.
But I think maybe, okay, I understand that, but then I think also behind the scenes, I think the growing is behind the scenes. You develop in training. You develop by training the first team. You develop by understanding exactly how the manager wants you to play. That understanding how Ten Hag plays, because Ten Hag plays in a very specific way. So, and the thing is, if you loan him out to whoever, that he's probably learning something completely different from a different manager. So when he comes back, he has to learn Ten Hag's system all over again. So I don't know. I'm not. So the thing is, like, he's like at Sunderland, he's killing it, all that stuff. But if he comes back and he is not quote unquote a Ten Hag player, or Ten Hag cannot fit him, cannot see him how he's gonna fit in the team, then Ten Hag won't play him. It's that simple. So I don't know, because like I'm just with Palestri, the only thing I don't want is I don't want to loan him out when he can literally. I'd rather him get opportunities here and there, grow and develop in the system. Like Phil Foden. Phil Foden, Man City fans were telling Pep Guardiola to play him. Please play him. Please play him. Please play. But Pep said, nah, he needs to learn. Chill. And then once he brought Phil Foden into the first team, he actually started playing. Phil Foden hit the ground running, because he understood it takes time to soak in how to play in this specific system. So
Yazir, can I come in and agree with you there, because we got to weigh up the wingers as well. So who we got for the left side? Rashi, Garnacho. Okay, that side's covered. Anthony on the right, and then was it Elanga, Sancho possibly not coming back yet. Palestri, I think, has to stay on fight to take this position.
Yeah,
I think he's saying, okay, I can actually be better than Sancho. Yeah, he should have the mentality. We know he's not better than Sancho, but he should have the mentality to go, okay, I'm going to fight in the system, like you're saying. I'm going to actually follow what Ten Hag's saying. I'm going to be a good student, come in and fight. So yeah, I would say Palestri should stay as a squad player. Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's opportunities.
Right. Let's put him. Let's move him.
Especially if Elanga goes as well. I hope Elanga goes.
Martin de Braak obviously is, well, yeah, I'll say just sell, just because he's back to Newcastle anyway. So
yeah,
we'll move on from that. Brandon Williams for me
sell him.
needs to be sold. Needs to be sold.
Yeah.
I
sold him. I sold him on FIFA career mode, so sell him.
Yeah. How much did you get?
Oh, I got I think almost 7 mil for him.
7 mil. Yeah, yo, we can get double figures for Brandon. Surely 10 mil, man.
Hopefully, man.
Now here's a controversial guy. Not controversial, but Donny van der Beek. Now it's obviously sad what happened that he's now out of the rest of the season. You know, I think that he would actually be a useful midfielder to use. But it is interesting because I think a lot of us thought, oh, he played under Ten Hag. Ten Hag will use him. Ten Hag will coach him. We're getting better. But Ten Hag, basically, and this is the funny thing, whenever you diss Ollie, at the end of the day, how different has Ten Hag treated Van der Beek than Ollie has? Has there been a massive difference? People went at Ollie. They were like, Ollie is this, Ollie is that. So when a coach, there are clearly things that happen behind the scenes where you're looking at it thinking, I don't know, because even Dung says someone Ten Hag doesn't like him, but he was the manager. He was managing him.
That's one of his students. I don't get this. I don't get what's gone on.
So at the end of the day, there's clearly something. That's what I'm saying. So for all the hate that Ollie was getting, because people were hating Ollie. I'm not saying Ollie didn't deserve to be sacked, but people like, you ruined Donny van der Beek. Van der Beek is this, Van der Beek is that. Ten Hag has literally done the same.
Still be blamed, Jed, because it could be like the confidence issue with him because he's not got that games under his belt. He's just been wrecked to the point where you can't even play under his master, which is Ten Hag. He's forgotten how to play football.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with certain players we're seeing with Van der Beek, with Sancho, etc. That there's certain things like why is it that other players like Fred and Wan-Bissaka, who also were dipping, have reacted positively and improved and done an X, Y, and Z. You know, even McTominay, to be fair, in certain games is at least attempted to sort of step up, and Rashford, enough said. But to be
fair, they were getting more games under Ollie, weren't they? They had a bit more, you know, they were getting used to playing a bit more. Like Donny, literally, what was it? One game every 3 months or something?
Well, at least that was something, though.
What about Dallo? Dallo had less games than all of them. And yet Dallo came in, was like, right, I'm coming in. Boom,
you know what it is, though? He said this, Eric Ten Hag said this in the last press conference. They were asking him about Harry Maguire, and then they also asked him a question about giving youth a chance. He said pretty much that you pretty much have to earn your place in the team. He's a big advocate of that. Like they were talking about how like looks like, you know, they were trying to make a story about the whole Harry Maguire being a captain and the fact that he's not even 5th choice center back. He said, bro, who told you that? Like he's not my 5th choice center back. He said at the end of the day, he's like, bro, you gotta earn your place. And he said he said, and he talked about how Maguire was ill and stuff like that, and hence why he didn't play certain games that he should have played, especially coming back from the World Cup, etc. He wasn't available. But also with the Donny van der Beek thing, like in a way, I really like that about a manager. Like he doesn't care if he's your dad. He doesn't care if he's like your teacher, your professor, and you're his student. Like personal relationship don't matter. Like it's all about you need to earn the shirt. Like once you come into the team, you in the team, and then now it's up to you to keep it. So
are we saying that Donny should be sold?
I just don't see a future with Donny. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's one of those things with Donny where like unfortunately things happen the way it happened, and it's just better for the club, better for him to just kind of end this situation, bro.
But yeah, there's got to be surely something where these two guys that were at Ajax, they had the chemistry. Surely that's still in there somewhere, man.
It is, but I don't know, bro. Like I just don't see Donny the way things have gotten since he came to United, and then after this injury, I don't know how he can ever be like right to play for United again, bro.
Yeah.
Like, because that's like, I'm not gonna lie to you, and people say, oh, the people can like people right now can say, oh, that's being mentally weak and etc. But guys, I won't blame him. I won't blame Donny because that's so hard to come back from. Like,
Yeah.
because the saddest thing, Eddie, saddest thing, I believe all with all my heart when he because I think he came on when he got injured. I think that was the start of him actually being a part of the team. And I thought that was the start of him actually getting more and more game time and getting more and more involved. And the moment that happened, before it even started, it got taken away from him.
So he's just cursed then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something's going on. Maybe that Pogba judge is working.
Yeah, well, there's some Pogba judge. There's some Pogba judge, man. Moses, I like VDB, but we need a 10 to challenge back up Bruno exactly. Bolton says Donny couldn't handle being United. ET has been everything else has seen other players come in and do his job exactly. And Ilya says, Harry, well, we're going to talk about Maguire in a second, buddy. We're going to talk about Maguire and get to him. Anthony Alanga, loan. I think he needs to go out on loan.
So I'm on. I've had enough of Elanga. I'm sorry, boy. I don't like the football brain that he has, man. Nah.
Yeah, I know, bro.
I mean, I still think the thing is, I feel for Elanga because I think for Elanga, he was kind of thrust in. He's still, unlike the other coming players that I think were just kind of bedded in, like Garnacho, Bruno, etc. He was kind of like thrust in under Ralph Rangnick, and I feel like he hasn't had like when United had that kind of turbulent season.
He actually did well for a bit on the Ralph.
We all saw the dream. We all saw the dream.
But this is what I'm saying is like I feel like he's kind of been. It's almost like Alanga is almost. I feel like he's almost been like a number. Like it's like okay, you're there as like a instead of like remembering that this guy is still also an academy player. Because when we look at like we're saying to other youth players, oh yeah, here's a chance, loan out, etc. I don't know things. We're not saying that Alanga, but unlike everyone else, he's been treated just like a number, like a squad player, like right, okay, you're just there to do a job in case people get injured, but he's not really been properly coached yet. And I think that if you didn't have the turbulent season with Rangnick and Ollie and the moving and now everything Hag or what have you, I think that probably would have happened to him would have been that he would have gone out on loan. So the reports about him potentially going out on loan to Dortmund, I'm like, that's good. You go out on loan for 6 months, go to Dortmund, play regularly, get your fitness level up, physicality, whatever it is. You're going to be coached well there. And then take him, because remember, he's not English, he's Swedish, so he can, it's not like he has to stay in England or whatever.
Okay, RDS, but real quick,
That's what I was saying.
He plays winger, doesn't he? Yeah?
Yeah.
And we've got an embarrassment of wingers to be picking from. Rashi, Garnacho, Anthony, Pellistri, Sancho. And we're talking about Pellistri going out on loan, yeah? So we've got like too much competition. I'm sure I've missed out another winger. Elanga just needs to be just let go for me. He showed some promise on the Ralph Rangnick, and for me, he's just falling off. He just looks like just a pace merchant for me. So, yeah, if you guys want to have loan, you can have loan, but I'm staying on sell for me. I'm not happy with this guy. Sorry.
No, I mean,
Ilya agrees. Ilya says sell as well. But like I don't know. I just feel that when it comes to youth, I feel that when it comes to youth players, I'm always reluctant. Especially after a season, because he only really had a season to just sell a player because we've been bitten in the face before, like the Pogbas, etc., that have gone in and then they've left and then they've actually developed and then they come back and United now spend 670 million pounds a player that just wasn't at his prime as of yet. So after one season, 2, 3, okay, fine, whatever. But one, I'm like, give him a loan. I mean, how many chances did United give Pereira?
Oh, too many.
5 or 6, too many. So like after one season, for me, I'd say loan him till the end of the season. Take him on preseason, see how he does, and then if he can't compete, then I would consider selling him like either in the summer or in the January transfer window, something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I think Alenga is suffering from
Oh yeah,
it's
I'm sorry, go on.
so like a sub. I think it's a subconscious reaction to someone not being at the club. I feel like we all expect all the academy players that plays in a forward line to be like someone. I'm not gonna name his name. That is not longer part of the club for obvious reasons. Everyone expect him to be like him. I think it's like I don't know if people are following what I'm saying. I think Eddie
Yeah,
does, but I think that everyone is expecting him to be that guy, and that guy was a special talent, for whatever. I mean, just talk about football. He was a unique talent, and he's just not him. And I think with Alenga, everyone, especially with Ralph, he saw us dreams, bro. Ralph saw us dreams about Alenga that we all drink that Kool-Aid, like him scoring in the Champions League, I guess Atletico Madrid, all that. We all thought, yo, Alenga might be that guy, and he's not, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with him from him not being that guy. So I just think our expectations of Alenga needs to be, and like turn it down a lot. Like, expectations supposed to be low. He's still like an academy product, and he's still a young player. And I would like to see him to go on loan. And and one thing I'll say is not every player has to be Ronaldo, has to be Paul Scholes, have to be, Dennis Irvin or Eric Cantona. Some players can be a decent player and still can be a good squad player. So that's just
yeah, but yes,
my
yeah, I'm not seeing the garnacho or pedestri in him. That's what I'm saying. Man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
I and I agree with
I
you.
don't know. I know.
But the thing is, like, sometimes players like Alanga could be important for a team that wins something because he's not Palestri, he's not Garnacho as in terms of talent, but in terms of like as a team, in terms of their team, he's effective. He could be effective for United, and stuff like that. And you don't have to be like a star boy. And I think that might be the future for Alanga. I don't think it's like he's just going to be like a star, but I think he's going to be one of those players that comes on, does something here or there. Everyone goes like, "Oh my god, Halang is amazing." No, he's just squad player.
So I'm sorry, Yazir, but you see where Ten Hag's taking us, yeah?
Yeah, he's not. He's not part of that, huh?
He wants to win every game, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Star boys. Star
yeah,
boys.
yeah. I feel you.
Oh,
And I
breaking news: Arsenal's 70 million bid for Moses Caicedo has been immediately rejected by Brighton. Should
Yeah, they don't
Arsenal
want to sell
make a
him.
new deal next summer, it will be a potential record fee for the club. So there you go. Shout out to AD who says hi. Right, let's
No, I
quickly
read
move on. It's almost two
yeah, go
hours. We've got to try and round up as well. So Axel Twin CB, I think he's going to have to sell him right now.
Sell him.
I don't think he could sell him. I think that'd be quick. Scott McTominay.
Sell him too, bro. Yeah, I'm not.
Is it possible that he could jump into squad player status?
No, thanks.
Nah,
I think against Everton, not Everton, against Arsenal when he died in the second half. I don't think he was even that good in the first half. He just goes quiet too much. We can't have that anymore, man. We lose games.
He's not that guy, bro.
Phil Jones. I mean,
he should be on
let him go. Yeah, just let him go. Release him. Don't even sell him. Release him.
There should be a release option. Yeah. Release. Just release.
You know how they release like academy players? Like there's a list of release them, bro.
Mengi's gone on loan, hasn't he? If I recall.
Yeah, I think he's still on loan.
He's on loan, isn't he? Mengi, and I think Shota is also on loan as well, isn't he? I think they're both on loan. Yeah. Garnacho. Alessandro Garnacho, man.
I think he's been a decent squad player.
Yeah.
Squad or even reliable?
I was thinking that too. I think he
Because
needs more playing time to be reliable, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think he plays a lot though. That's the thing, and I
because
think
when he's come on, because the thing about what I love about Garnacho is that anytime he's come on, he's always given us something. And let's
Yeah,
keep it a stack. He's done some clutch things.
clutch.
Like he scored the clutch goal against Fulham before the
yeah.
World Cup break to
I
2-1.
love him, man.
He made the clutch assist to Rashford to
The
get that
Manchester
2-1 in
derby.
the Manchester derby.
Yeah.
So he always comes on. And that's why I was annoyed at Ten Hag when I was like, why didn't you bring on Garnacho? I think what was it in the against Arsenal? I was like, why? You've only brought him on at like 85, 86 or so minutes. Like Garnacho could have done something against Arsenal. You only subbed on Fred at 69 minutes and Garnacho 85. Like
Yeah,
Garnacho Fred could have done something. So for me, he always just gives you something when he comes on. So I don't know. Because I feel like you can't put him in the same category as like Malacia or Lindelof in terms of squad players, etc., or in Palestri, like because he's given us moments,
yeah. Marseille
important
give us,
moments.
but Marseille was amazing. Like there's certain games where he was phenomenal. Like I remember what game was it? What game? Man City. Marseille shut down Maris. Maris
Oh
was, yeah, he was. I thought Marseille was brilliant against City. Um, Fred, I feel like Fred also gave us moments like that goal that Casemiro, like the assist from Casemiro, the goal he scored yesterday as well. I don't know. I mean, the thing with Garnacho is like as much as I say I agree that he gave us moments, clutch moments, he just doesn't play enough games for me. So yeah, I mean I understand. Yeah, I just think he's been a good, like that's what Ten Hag has used him. He's used him as a squad player.
Okay.
So
yeah.
yeah,
And
I
we'll
think he's
put it
got
on.
potential to go towards reliable for that second half of the season. Like
oh without a doubt,
as
yeah,
he gets more prominent in his like goal involvements, he could, what I mean, move ahead of. Well, no, he's not going to move ahead of Rashi. I mean, it's kind of Rash Bappe
No,
right
no,
now.
no.
But, I mean, he could get put on the other wing, give Anthony slacking. Could see that.
yeah.
No, exactly. He'll be. I definitely think with the amount of games that we'll have to play, he would definitely be. I think crucial and important. But the Volganate says the squad for Garnacho, if everything gets into his head, it won't be long before he becomes reliable, then on to world class.
Yeah,
Elias
exactly.
says,
He needs
I
to
will
sign a
miss.
contract.
Go. He did sign a contract, did he?
He needs to.
He
He
needs to
hasn't
sign a
yet.
contract. Yes, not yet, which is
Yeah,
important. We need to
If
get him
we
to
lose
sign.
Garnacho, I'm quitting as a fan.
Yeah,
We better
bro.
sign the
can't lose him.
contract.
We
You
can't
better
lose
sign
him.
a contract, bro. I'm every day that goes by, the closer we get to like May or so, I get worried, man. I get worried. I worry a lot with this
Garnacho is
club.
becoming a good squad player, still very inconsistent. Right, we almost finished. Who's else? Harry Maguire.
Sell him, please.
Yeah, I'm on sell.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
If Amondi is still in the comments, he'll be going mad because like he's always been,
He loves Harry Maguire,
you
doesn't
know
he?
what I mean. He's always been
He
putting
loves.
Maguire forward.
I know
Like he still believes he should be captain, but
Wow.
I
he's
like
not playing
Maguire
enough
though.
to even be a squad player.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like Maguire, but it's just like this marriage has ended. Like
Yeah.
they have, like with United and Maguire, they are on different. They live in the same house, but then they like sleep in different rooms. That's what it is. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Like they say hi to each other. They say they love each other all the time, but it's just nothing is there. Like the marriage is done. Like it's time for you to go and time for me to go. In this whole, it's like you use terms like I always love you type of thing, but in reality, it's just the marriage is over,
You
man.
always have a space in my heart.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that,
Like that's what it is. Like Captain Maguire, captain of the club, yay! But don't play. So it's it's time for you to go. Sorry.
that is mad, Yazia. How can you be still captain? You get like 5 minutes here, 5 minutes over there. It's
I
like,
was watching in America we have a the only football commentary in terms of punditry we have is from ESPN. So they're talking, and Stevie Nicol, the is an ex Liverpool legend. He used to play as like a left back for Liverpool. He said that, bro, if I was me, I would have been embarrassed. I would have been embarrassed, and because I was like, I don't play. And to come on to ask for because that's the thing I don't get. Like he always asks for the armbands. Like, so I would have been embarrassed, man, because I don't play. So yeah.
It's shocking. It's shocking. Like,
Yeah.
it's embarrassing, man.
The Vulcanator says he'll sign a 6-year contract soon. He loves United and he can see his future. And I was like, yeah. He's got no issue. Well.
That was in reference to, was it Garnacho? Was it?
Yeah.
I always thought that was in reference to Maguire. I was about to leave.
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, geez.
No, that's Garnacho. I was about to say, like, what? No.
Right. Next up, we've got 5 more. Well, 4 more. I'm not going to talk about the last one. Lisandro Martinez.
Yeah, world class, bro. I think it's world class.
Okay. Well, he's a World Cup winner. So that definitely adds to that. He's the World Cup winner. We've got 2 World Cup winners in our squad in the world class in Varane and Lisandro. But yeah, a World Cup winner, man.
Yeah, I just gotta say, that this guy, ever since because remember when he started with Maguire and he was in like 2-1 losses, 4-0s. I thought that was gonna destroy him. I was like, oh no, this guy that was gonna be a revelation, already destroyed, already infected by the loser mentality. And the way he's come back since then, he's just been like a warrior. Like the guy, I mean, we've seen the guy recently getting his head bashed in, black eyes, still trying to head goals against Arsenal. Actually getting goals. The guy is he's a madman.
Insane.
He's a warrior, man.
It's crazy. Like Lindelof and Maguire started against Reading, and we can see a corner, headed goal from a corner, and it's weird because he doesn't get beat in the air a lot. You don't see much corners and stuff like that when he's on the pitch. So or he doesn't lose a lot of headers. So it's weird. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I understand people's opinion about him being affected aerially because of his height. I understand that logic, because you will think, especially in the EPL, when you have played the teams that have a big number 9, you'll think like, oh yeah, this guy's gonna lose a lot of headers, but he doesn't. He doesn't lose a lot of headers, and
he's got a good leap on him. Like he's very good at jumping high, and obviously he's like, he's got that mentality of like he's got to make up for his height. He's a bit of a scumbag. If you know, like the way he puts off people when they try and jump, he's putting off someone for the header. Yeah, he's got them tactics, man.
He does, and it's I'm not gonna lie to you, like even I was thinking, this height thing might be a problem. I kind of bought into it, but man, it hasn't. He hasn't.
Right. Last 3. Ronaldo. Well, we know what's happened there.
Sell him. Sell Ronaldo.
We don't need to talk about Ronaldo with his bottling in the Saudi Arabian League. The last 2. Bruno Fernandes.
Reliable. Mr. Reliable. Bruno. El Capitano. Yeah.
I mean, for me, like you probably could say I have an agenda against him. I just don't like his style of play.
You don't have an agenda. I love Bruno. Bruno is one of my favorite players. I love him. The things I said about Bruno compared to certain players is blasphemous. Like I mentioned certain things, but I get it. I do. There's time. I get it. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've seen it. Bruno gets the ball. Simple pass. Doesn't make it. Bro, like, come on. It's right there. I get it, bro. I get it.
Yeah, I've called him a cowboy because I think he's on those settings of I've got to try and do some kind of dynamic 50-yard, 40-yard, 30-yard pass. When, like you said, the simple ball done. Yeah. He always tries that extravagant thing. I think that's just like an instinctive thing that, okay, he's done a bit of less this season because Ten Hag's worked on him a bit, but still, I don't think he sets like the example enough of the Ten Hag football for me. Like there's still certain times when he's kind of like one of these guys that does like the histrionics, like, when he gets fouled, he kind of emphasizes it a bit, argues with the ref. He moans at players as well, even though he's playing like bad as well. This is why I said I want Casemiro as captain, man. I want someone that he's just more consistent as the captain, man. But if we're going to talk about Bruno, like overall for like this half season, I don't know if I can argue about reliable, man. He is, he's played a lot of games and he's had some good games as well. So
And
probably reliable.
I don't know if it was him. Like, I don't know. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. You gave that assist to Fred, right? Was that him?
Oh, from the short corner.
Yeah.
So.
Because that pass was fantastic. Oh, but sometimes that's what Bruno does. Bruno does those things where, like, wow, man, Bruno, because that ball, perfect timing, perfect pass. I think there was like he bended around the defender that was in front of him. I mean, it was fantastic. But that's what Bruno does. And then just the things were like, I'm like, yo, Bruno, take your time on certain shots that he should be scoring. You're like, yo, chill. And he would just like try to first time it and he would completely scuff it. And sometimes like I feel like he plays the game in 100 miles per hour. And I'm like, bro, relax. Like that's
what he's used to. Like, he's a
yeah,
counter-attacking
bro.
player. Like he was doing that at Sporting Lisbon a lot because they would counter-attack. Everything would go through him. And that's why he got like a lot of goal involvements there as well. So it's like it just seems to be his mentality. I'll say one more thing on Bruno though. Like I admire his mentality because he could have a stinker for 89 minutes and then pop up with an assist.
Yeah.
In the game in the 90th minute. He's mercurial. So I do rate that about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, final cap. We'll actually let me quickly go just comments before we go into a final player. Mawada says Casemiro transformed midfield, Leacher transformed our mentality.
Yeah.
Ilya says when Reading scored was trash from guys. I was watching cricket in TV. That's why we must trust Enzo. He's bringing in class players with brilliant mentality. Yes, in Ten Hag we trust.
Yeah, man.
Bruno class. Something that's offensive agenda against Bruno. Yeah, I don't have an agenda when we're playing well. It's more not playing well.
No,
Last player.
I just quickly, just last thing.
I
understand it. I do understand the whole thing where this agenda, Bruno, blah blah, but I'm not lying to you. I'm like I said, I'm one of Bruno's. I love Bruno. I love Bruno so much, but I understand. Like I feel like people need to start understanding. Like Bruno is such a frustrating player. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I believe he has immense ability. I think his footballing ability is fantastic. I think he has so much talent, but it is like decision making. Sometimes I'm like, bro, relax. Like, please, just relax. Like, bro, simple pass. Like, come on, don't like exactly like Eddie said. Don't do that. Chill. You have time, bro. Relax. Like, take a deep breath. And when he plays, sometimes like when you will see over the season, over the season, you will see him play when he plays more calm. He's such a fantastic player. He's an unbelievable player. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. Last player, guys. I won Anthony Martial. Anthony Martial, guys.
Tony Martial.
I don't know how it can be anything other than sell at this point.
Yeah, sell him, bro.
With the injuries, that's all I got to say on Martial. Injuries. I mean, obviously, I don't want to just like be cold like that because like, come on, that link-up play that he was showing during the preseason and in some games he played this season too. Like he showed that he's a 10-hard player, someone that's calm on the ball, someone that can look after it. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of dribbling, a little bit carrying the ball, 1-2. He's got the knowledge, that ball IQ, but hey, you can't stay fit. You shouldn't be staying here.
Yeah, I saw him too. Like, I don't. Availability is your best ability. I'm sorry. Like it's sad because like I'm like, bro. We dropped points against Palace. We dropped points against Arsenal, and we needed him. We needed him, bro, and he wasn't there. And that's the thing about Martial. Like, bro, when I need you the most, I need you to be there, and you're not. That's just the honest truth, and I don't see it getting better.
Most says we play our best football with Martial, not ready to give up on him yet. I mean,
how much patience?
No, but even he did say that, but he said we need him. Literally, that's what Tadak said. So yeah, we need him. Like Martial is injured, but we need him back because we play our best football. And even at Ten Hag, we're saying,
but Yassi, if the new owners are like, listen, we're gonna drop 120 on Osherman, then are you now saying that 100 when Osherman comes in, Are we saying that Martial? Are we still saying that we need Martial? We need Martial. We need Martial.
No, but I think even for Ten Hag, I think Ten Hag is ready to get a new striker. I 100%.
Oh, he
Yeah.
said in the summer he want it's he said
Yeah.
this window. He's literally said if it were aside from being rude to the board, I want a new striker. I lost Ronaldo, who and Martial is injured. I need a new striker. That's what I need in January. And what he got was Wout Weghorst on loan. He's not terrible, but that's what the board was based on.
This guy can still work. But I would say the biggest statement from Ten Hag was playing Maguire up front in that Europa League game. That was, come on. That was telling the board to get him in, someone that's reliable. So I'm hoping Weghorst can do something. But I don't, I mean, going forward, we need people, we winners. Weghorst are not really a winner. Really. I mean, come on.
Bro, if our team
or some of them.
Our team is a elite striker, like away from being like scary, like terrifying. That's like we're so close, people. We're so close, but I don't know. Yeah.
So I assume we're putting in Martial. Everyone's saying Martial is in. Are we saying sell then?
Yeah, sell him, please.
Can't be sold.
I love you, Martial. I know you came from France. I know you cost 50 million. But you gotta go.
Yeah.
Right. Last comments, and then we'll round around because like I said, we don't have enough time for the other topics that were there. The Voltainter says Bruno, Casemiro, Martinez, Dade, or Captain Matteo. I stick with Bruno. He loves the responsibility. If you take that away from next season, we might not get the same player. Interesting. I love Tony Martial.
Casemiro in general, though, man. Come on, like, just look at where like his levels would go up as well. Just being like having that responsibility. Come on, Vujinator, man. Like, come on.
I love Tony Martial so much, but he's always in your cell. But Ten Hag will not get rid of him. Again, that's interesting. The Vogan says Martial 6 years of mediocrity. I think it's a bit harsh.
He's had some good seasons, isn't it? Like, remember the first one on the Ole where it's like, what was it, getting 20 plus goals? I think it was. Yeah, he's had some good seasons.
Vogan says Shaw 8 years United, 1 season good season. I mean, that's fair, but I mean, at least Shaw as of recently as Shaw's Martial's injury record is you can't. It's I would argue it's buy level, if not worse. So because at least at times buy was available, just Oli wasn't picking him. But my goodness, Martial is just not fit. But yeah, fair enough. Yes, you need to go. Right, guys. Thanks everyone for going in, man. Really appreciate everyone who's tuned into the chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Eddie and Yassir. Eddie, do you want to shout out to your channel again?
Yeah, I just gotta say thanks again for having me on. I really enjoyed the stream, man. It's like I didn't know we'd talk so long on the players for this tier maker because, like you said, you had other topics, so it's been awesome. But yeah, you can find me on YouTube as well, Eddie's Football Waffle. Check me out for like reaction videos on Man United. On occasion, I do other football stuff too. But yeah, thanks again for having me on RDS.
And Yassir, I know you have a channel as well. Do you want to pick up your channel as well?
Say that again.
You have a channel as well, don't you, Yassir?
Yeah. YUFC TV, guys. Follow, bro. Big things on 2023, guys.
How'd you spell that?
YUFC TV. Yeah.
Oh, YU, yeah.
Okay,
okay.
Just put it in the private chat. Yes,
so
the link.
So yeah, shout out, guys. Road to 100 subscribers, guys. We're 14 subscribers away. I mean, it's crazy, man. Yeah, shout out to
head over to Yassir's channel and subscribe and get him to 100 subscribers, guys. Please, I mean a lot to him. Shout out to Mo, shout out to Vorganator, shout out to Ilya Man. Take care, everyone. Peace.
Peace. All right, guys. I gotta head out, man. See ya.
Peace,
right,
buddy.
Man. Take care, Yazir.